you're going through those storms, it's so important to have your support system. That's been huge for us. I'm Stacy Rapp.
I'm David Rapp.
So in end of March in 2018, David started complaining of some headaches, and he has a lot of other health issues, one of them being cystic fibrosis. So he did his best to rest for a couple days. He was continued feeling worse, calls up one of his buddies to take him to the hospital because he felt like he couldn't drive and he didn't want me driving him with the kids. And at this point, he's starting to not make sense and just not even sure what day it was. He was several months off. When the ER doctor called me, their initial thought was that he had meningitis. And so they were asking for my consent to do a spinal tap. Somewhere in that time frame while he was in the ER, he also suffered a seizure. They also did a CT scan, fortunately, and that's when they actually discovered it was not meningitis, but he in fact had a brain abscess. And that abscess had ruptured, and that's why the infection was all throughout his spinal fluid. Pretty much the entire month of April that year is completely gone from his memory, with the exception of a very crystal clear couple of moments that, from what we've pieced together, we're pretty sure happened during his brain surgery.
I was in the CAT scan machine, and I kept clicking the button telling them that the light was bright. And they said, "Mr. Rapp, no one's in there with you," because I kept feeling someone holding my shoulders. And I can't see very well, but I felt this light and this presence behind me. And then the next second, I see Christ in front of me. In the next minute, he's gone for a second, and they're talking in this low, deep voice. It was calming. It was calm. He comes around. I said, "Who was that?" He said, "That was Yahweh. That was God. It's not your time yet." And I remember the night that I was really sick and I couldn't hold anything down, I kept praying that God would come to me. And what he said to me is, "You called for me and I came to you." And the next minute I wake up and I've got this, I guess, this cage on and these nails in my head to keep me stable. And from my understanding, it was a 94% mortality rate, the type of brain infection I had. And I guess I woke and I said, "What happened?" And in that moment, for the next 30 days, I guess she had to repeat what happened every time I woke up.
There's been some challenges along the way. There's been a lot of stress and anxiety. We always hear that, God doesn't give us more than we can handle. That kind of forces us to lean into God, to trust Him. When you're going through those storms, it's so important to have your support system. That's been huge for us.
God's with you every step of the way. The best thing I can tell you is pray, wait, and just continue to fight.